Alright, I'm going to quickly talk about how I got into chainsaws. So, got to tell you a quick little story to illustrate why I started this whole obsession. Everyone's got their own story. This is mine. Anyways, I had a friend of mine, he bought a couple acres, and he went out and bought himself a Stihl MS 290. Yeah, that's what it was, a 290. Boy, did I think he was the coolest guy in the world. I never thought about the cool factor of owning a chainsaw. So obviously I had to get my own chainsaw, even though I didn't have any property at the time. I did have one tree in my backyard that needed to be cut down. But anyways, I digress. My friend buys a chainsaw, so I gotta go out and buy a chainsaw. So this here was the first saw that I ever bought. So this is a Stihl MS 260, which is it's slightly smaller in cc's, but it is a pro saw. And I went out and helped my friend cut down a whole bunch of trees at his property and had a lot of fun. But then it was less than a year afterwards, I bought my own property. Now I had, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I had thousands and thousands of trees. So the first summer of owning the property, I ran this little saw here all summer. And I worked it hard. I cut a lot of cords of firewood. But after that summer was done, I was done. I was done with the little 50cc saw. So I went straight to the Stihl dealership in the winter time, and I jumped right to the MS 460. So I did a lot of research before I went out and bought this one, and I figured if it's good enough for the fire department, it was good enough for me. Because if anyone's going to abuse the shit out of a chainsaw, it's the fire department. So anyways, that was a big selling point for me. So yeah, so I ran this Stihl MS 460 for a couple years afterwards. It's gone through, it made it look very clean. That's because I maintain my saws pretty good. But it's got a lot of miles on it, and it's still strong. It has so much compression that it's hard to pull over. So there's a lot of YouTubers out there, or chainsaw firewood YouTubers that always have the 5 or 10 saw plan that they drag all along. I'm a one saw kind of guy. I like to run one saw all day. So as soon as I got this 460, this 260 pretty much got put on a shelf. I'm not big on, I gotta grab a smaller chainsaw to do some limbing of the trees. No, I do everything with the same saw. That's just me. If you got a different idea of doing things, by all means, follow your dream. This is just how I roll. But anyways, I ran this for a couple of years, and then I got into the whole rebuilding of vintage saws, which is a lot of fun, and it's addicting. So soon after, actually the first one I purchased after that one was a 272 XP Husqvarna, which is a beast of a saw. It's beautiful. I still own it. That is the last saw I will ever give up. That's how much I like it. And after that, I sort of dove into the 60s to mid 60cc saws, and they were all just lackluster. I didn't like them. I like running a 70cc saw, and living in Manitoba, we don't have big trees. There's no need to buy anything bigger than a 70. I do have a 288 that I plan on using for milling some logs I got. However, it's just too heavy for the type of cutting I do. Pretty much, being in Manitoba, our trees aren't big, like I mentioned. You can cut down any tree in the whole province with a 16-inch bar. And that's the truth. But I like running a 20-inch. A 20-inch is just right for me. So there's all this debate on long bar thing and everything, and I tried running a long bar. I had a 32-inch. I ran it for one whole summer. It just doesn't work in my woods. The woods that I work in are too dense. You cannot move around and work efficiently with a long bar. You're much better off with a 20. So don't always subscribe to the stand up and buck kind of deal. It's not true in all conditions. It may work way out on the coast wherever Billie Jean is, but it doesn't work in Manitoba. So go out and try your own thing. Try a whole bunch of different setups. Find out what works for you. That's the best advice I can give you. But this is just me rambling because I can't sleep. So take it for what it's worth. I'll catch you later.